Welcome back there, blade lovers. We have another flash knife today from this company. Yes, that's supposed to be in focus, and that is OLight. This is their Arcfeld that I've been carrying for a while. Kind of an interesting light with a laser and a flashlight. Nice clip. Anyway, brought it out because it's sort of the same color. OLight has been known for years for making some very fine and interesting, innovative flashlights. Lately, past couple years maybe, they have teamed with Kaiser, and I believe it's still Kaiser, correct me if I'm wrong, to produce knives such as this one, the original OKnife, the Drever. And at first they were labeling them OLight. No, I guess it has always been OKnife. So that's their moniker, their OKnife, the kind of flying OKnife circle. And this was a cool knife. I'm going to bring it out for comparison again in a moment. And also, most recently, they came out with what they call the Heron. And that's the Heron L1. Yep. We'll show you that one again in a moment. Close them up so they don't cut anything. What do we have now? Something that I understand was kind of a special, and there was a drop, and some people didn't get in on it. And frankly, I went out and saw it on Instagram at LTK, Love Them Knives. And I said, oh, that's interesting. They say they can't get them anymore. I went out on Amazon, boom, picked one up. 99 bucks. And it is an interesting cleaver knife, razor, like a straight razor. Mirror polish Damascus. I'm pretty sure it's stainless Damascus. I think they're using like 9CR 18 MOV. They won't tell you, they just label it Damascus and Freeze 3. There it says Damascus. So an interesting pattern on the billet Damascus, right? Nice big old finger choil. I threw this up on Instagram. There didn't seem to be a lot of interest. I think the blade style turns a lot of people off. Other people like it. Kind of a mixed bag. I never liked pointless, excuse the term, knives. But I think because of the Damascus and just the fact that it was being made by Kaiser for OKnife, that it was an interesting setup. Is it drop shut? Almost too much so. I tried tightening that pivot. It's crazy. I mean, yeah, I can certainly shake it out. So it does not have a strong detent. That can be improved. If you're willing to disassemble it, you can bend in the lock, liner lock. And it's a relatively thin liner. It's making, say, about 30% contact, so it's not bad. And it is weight relieved. So there you go. So a liner lock knife, Damascus stainless steel, a very bright blue and black handle. We got a black G10 bolster with a blue G10 main handle, wide open in the back, and just a couple of barrel spacers for standoffs. Overly, light for a knife this size, and it is a large knife. So we're going to measure it up in a moment. Pretty effective file-like jimping here on the top, even on a polished blade. That feels very secure in my hand. As a cutter, pretty good. Yes, you're losing a lot of the edge here, okay, with that very sizable finger choil. So if you like finger choils, it's going to be pretty comfortable. They didn't really kick that heel back that much of the blade. It is somewhat. There's no real point sticking you there, but something to be careful of if you are using that. I would trigger it back a little bit closer to the flipper tab than way up here, just so you don't nick yourself. Big, long fuller, fairly narrow fuller, runs the full length. A little bit of a flip up here that gives it that interesting end, and I've seen some other blades like this that have that configuration near the tip. I don't have any, but I've seen photos of them. Can't recall the names at the moment, but akin to some of the fancier, more custom-y knives that have come out for people that like the Cleaver style blade. Let's get some measurements on this. I'm going to go right at the tip to the pommel, and it's almost 9 inches. It's like a 895, we'll call it. I'm not getting it all in there. Let me back out a little bit more. Okay, yeah, we're just about there. And a blade length of, yeah, we're going to call that like a 3.9 inch blade. If I go out of frame, excuse me, I'm busy looking at the knife and the tape measure instead of through the camera. Inches and handle thickness, 0.58. A little on the thicker side, but comfortable, nicely contoured. You know, shallowly rounded, broad across here. And if we go to the blade, 0.12, so not particularly thick. And in millimeters, 3 millimeters right on the nose. What do we got for a weight? Let's find out. We've got 5.42 ounces, 5.42. And as I said, it just swings right out and drops right down. Is it loose? No, locks up rock solid. But watch your fingies, although you've got a nice protector there in that flipper tab hitting the thumb, but then it just drops. Not what I'd call pneumatic, a little more on the loose side. When I say loose, again, nothing wrong with the blade, the way that it's attached to the handle, but it just swings smoothly. I think a lot of that has to do with the polished blade making contact with the bearings. And as far as I know, this is on bearings. And how's it locking up? Let's see. So I don't see a pin. Yeah, there's a pin. I'm just getting blinded by the fact that the pin is black and so is the handle. So there's your lock pin. Easy to open. Middle finger flick, no problem. Again, almost too easy. And you want to open it that way, you can. Then again, there's some very high-end production knives, such as the SOCOM Bravo from from Microtech, that equally have a light detent. So I'd say this definitely has a light detent. It is definitely an interesting blade. Let's bring out the original Drever. When I say original, I believe it was their first knife. Very much looking like a Kaiser knife. And we don't really know what Kaiser knives are supposed to look like because they've done such a wide variety of them. And here's the Heron L2. Was there an L1? I don't recall. Very tall blade. Taller, in fact, than the Freeze 3 here above. Much wider handle. This is actually, it's a blocky looking knife, but it actually feels really, really good in the hand. Very secure. Did a review on this not that long ago. You can check it out. So there they are, kind of in order of size. If we want to go by length. Let's get them in the frame. There we go. So those are the 3 OKnives that I have. Let's do a comparison real quick to some standard fare, well-known knives. Here is Ontario Rat 1. And it is about a 1/2 inch, maybe longer than the Rat 1. Hard to tell because of the blade shape. Yeah. Actually, I'd say they're pretty close to the same size. If we bring out the Griptilian is going to be a smaller knife and shorter by maybe a 1/2 inch or so. So an almost 9-inch knife, Damascus steel on bearings. When I say Damascus, not true Damascus, not forged Damascus, but billet stainless Damascus. And we're going to assume that it's probably something like a 9CR. Again, if you know different, let me know. Got a nice little light blue pivot surround there with a blue pivot on the other side. Looks like a T8, the screws, the body screws. I don't know, let's check it out. Get my Wea set up here. Weehaw, yeehaw. And let's see if we can find, that's a T9, that's a T8. So T8, yep, goes right in there. Oh, does not go in there. T6 is, do we want to be sure? Oh, what the heck. Let's pull out a T6. And, what is this? That's a T7. Duh. Didn't know they had a T7 in this set. Okay. That's a T6. So body is T6. Pivot is the T8. Well, I am inserting this section into the video because I forgot. Here is the very much Kaiser-like pouch that OKnife comes in. And whereas the Heron did not have this coin and the Drever did, I figure I would show you this cool coin with a shark on it. Freeze 3. Very nice challenge coin. So that's what you get as a little bonus in with the Freeze 3. Now, will this guy cut paper? Paper, you say? That's tough stuff to cut. Well, yeah, sometimes it is. I am not holding it well. There we go. So yeah, it is sort of a razor blade. I've seen sharper edges on knives, but I would say, yeah, it's a pretty fine edge being a 3mm. And I don't know, should I chance it? Should I chance it? Go to inches. Will I be able to see what that thickness is behind the edge? I can just grab it there. Well, 0.02. Try that again. Make sure. Could it be? Am I on the edge? 0.02. So, pretty decent, I would say. Are there finer edges? Yes. And are we hollow ground here? Look, we appear to be flat ground. Yeah. So we are flat ground. I do not see a hollow cross section. Anyway, that is the OKnife Freeze 3. Something to use in the wintertime when you're freezing, or something to cool you off in the summer? I don't know. Unusual knife. OKnife is certainly making strides to do things out there a bit and a little different. The last two knives, the Heron and this guy, are definitely different blades. They're not very costly, $100 for this one, and considerably less for the Heron. I think this was about maybe in the $60 range, I'm not sure. That's out of D2, the Heron, by the way, and we really don't know what the Damascus is on this guy, but again, best guess would be 9CR18 MOV. Okay, folks, hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Be back soon. Lots of knives to review these next few weeks.